Legend of Yufei, Chapter 7.
It's a great place to start, and the action really kicks off with an imperial summons for Yufei. News arrives via the local village head. There's a mandatory military exam coming up in Shangzhou. This is ordered directly by the military commissioner, Liu. So it's serious business. And it's not optional. It's actually the first step. You have to pass this regional exam just to qualify for the main event, the capital exam.
Okay, so right away, he's facing this big, formal bureaucratic thing, a required exam. What does that immediately tell us about his world? And how does Yu Fei, this soon-to-be legend, even approach something like that?
Well, his first move is pretty interesting. It's strategic. He goes to visit his father-in-law, that's Magistrate Li, over at the Nihuang County Government Office. And he's there basically asking for a favor.
Exactly. He needs help for his sworn brother, Niu Gao. Niu Gao apparently missed the preliminary round, the first part of the exam process. So Yu Fei asks Magistrate Li, essentially, can you add his name to the list for this upcoming exam?
And how does Magistrate Li react? Is it a big deal? Well, that's what's so revealing. He just is immediately willing to help. No hesitation. He just tells his staff, right then and there, record Niu Gao's name. This isn't just like a minor plot point. It shows us something huge about how things actually work. It's a perfect example of Guangxi, that whole complex system of personal connections and owing favors.
Well,
It basically shows how knowing the right people could, bend the official rules.
right. It's like there's the official system, and then there's the way things really get done through people you know.
Mhm.
And Magistrate Li doesn't stop there, does he? He wants to help Yu Fei even more.
He does. He provides something else, something potentially even more powerful. It's a letter of introduction
Okay, a letter. To whom?
to a man named Xu Ren. He's the county magistrate of Tangying County, which is part of Jiangsu, the region where the exam is. And Xu Ren is described as, well, a really good official, just reputable, highly respected. Apparently, even the military commissioner, the guy who ordered the exam, holds Xu Ren in high regard.
So this letter is meant to carry some weight. What's the point of it?
Well, the idea is to smooth things over for Yu Fei and Yu Gao when they get to Jiangsu for this supplementary exam. It's another great example of how having these established, respected connections could cut through red tape, make the bureaucratic hurdles a bit easier to jump, even in a system that looks rigid from the outside.
Okay, so they've got the favor sorted for Niu Gao, and they have this potentially very helpful letter. What happens next?
They set off. Yu Fei and his 5 sworn brothers, Yu Gao included. The text mentions they leave Magistrate Li's place on an auspicious day, which is a nice cultural detail.
Right, and how's the journey?
It sounds quite lively, actually. The description is of them riding horses, chatting, joking around. You get a real sense of camaraderie, this band of brothers on an adventure.
But there's a moment with Yu Fei himself, isn't there? Something more personal.
Yes, exactly. Amidst all the outward joking and traveling, the story gives us this quiet moment. Yu Fei is secretly thinking about his ancestral home, which is in Tanian County, the place they're heading towards. And thinking about it brings tears to his eyes.
Ugh, that adds quite a bit of depth, doesn't it? He's not just focused on the mission or the exam.
Not at all. It really humanizes him. It shows this deep personal connection to his past, his roots, even while he's on this trajectory towards fame and military duty. He's got this inner life, this sentimentality. It's a good reminder these legendary figures were, real people with complex feelings.
So they finally arrive in Shangzhou. What happens there?
They come in through the south gate, start looking for a place to stay. They choose an inn called the Jiang Zhenzi Inn. The reason given is simply that it looks clean and tidy.
Makes sense. You want a decent place after a journey.
Right. And the innkeeper, Jiang Zhenzi himself, comes out right away. He's very welcoming, helps with their luggage, gets their horses settled, standard good hospitality.
Okay, so they're settled in the inn. What's Yu Fei's plan now?
This is where it gets really interesting, actually. Yu Fei asks the innkeeper the time. He finds out it's already noon. So his first thought is, okay, it's too late to go to the county office today, we'll go tomorrow. Seems logical.
Yeah, official places usually close up around midday or early afternoon, you'd think. But the innkeeper says something surprising.
He does. He corrects Yu Fei immediately. And he doesn't just say, oh, they're still open. He launches into this incredibly positive description of the current county magistrate of Jiangsu. He tells Yu Fei, this magistrate has been there for 9 years. He's famous for being incorruptible. The phrase used translates to 2 sleeves of pure wind, meaning he takes absolutely no bribes. Clean as a whistle.
Wow, 9 years and incorruptible. That's impressive in itself.
And there's more. The innkeeper says he loves the local people like his own children. And crucially, he consistently works late, stays in his office dealing with matters deep into the night, way past normal hours. Get this, the innkeeper even says the magistrate's promotions have been held up several times because the local people literally begged the higher-ups to let him stay in Jiangsu. They didn't want to lose him.
No way! So the reason the office might still be open isn't just chance, it's because the magistrate is, like, incredibly dedicated, working late nights.
Precisely. It completely reframes the situation. It's not about standard operating hours. It's about the exceptional character of this specific official. This detail is sort of a aha moment in the narrative. It shows this amazing contrast. You have the top-down orders, the formal exams mandated by the commissioner, but you also have these pockets of genuine bottom-up respect and incredibly dedicated public service happening at the local level. This magistrate isn't just following rules, he's embodying an ideal of service, and it actually changes how things function locally, like keeping the office open late.
That's a fantastic detail. It shows the system wasn't monolithic. Individual character could make a huge difference. So how does Yu Fei react when he hears all this from the innkeeper? Does he stick to his plan of waiting until tomorrow?
Not for a second. His reaction is immediate. As soon as he hears about this diligent, working late magistrate, he changes his plan completely. He goes right back to their room, gets that letter of introduction from his luggage, locks the door,
And heads straight out.
heads straight to the county office with his brothers. No delay. It really shows his own character, doesn't it? He hears about genuine dedication to duty, and his response is respect and immediate action. He wants to engage with that kind of official right away.
Imagine waking up from a dream, a really vivid one. So perplexing it just sticks with you.
Oh yeah, those are unsettling.
Exactly. County magistrate, Shu Ren, and this really disturbing night vision he has. It sets off this wild chain of events.
Right.
What did Xu Ren see?
He dreams about five-colored tigers. They fly into his hall, and then they just pounce on him.
Wow, tigers.
5-colored ones, yeah. It shakes him up so badly that he calls his whole staff together. He's like, does anyone here interpret dreams? I mean, what would you even do?
Yeah. I think I'd be pretty freaked out. Definitely asking around. So his staff is there. Does someone step up?
Yes, this scribe named Bai Xiao volunteers. And his name, funnily enough, means knows everything.
Ah, convenient.
Right. And his interpretation is, well, it's bold. He compares Zhu Ren's dream directly to King Wen of Zhu.
Okay, the legendary Sage King.
The very one. He reminds Zhu Ren how King Wen dreamt of a flying bear just before he found his legendary strategist Jiang Zia.
So he's saying Xu Ren is like King Wen about to find some amazing talent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is quite a statement to make to your boss, a county magistrate.
Yeah.
Comparing him to the King Wen. You can imagine the sheer nerve.
Yeah, that takes guts. How does Xu Ren take being compared to, ancient royalty?
Not well. Not well at all. He basically explodes. Curses Bai Xiao, calls him a doghead.
Oof.
Yeah, for daring to make that comparison. Shuts him down completely. So much for the profound dream interpretation, right?
Right.
It just hits his ego wrong.
It really does. So the big prophetic moment kind of fizzles out because of pride. But then things take another turn, don't they? Right after this outburst.
They do. Almost immediately, 5 warriors show up. They're from Neihuang County, sent by another magistrate, and they need to see Zhu Ren.
5 warriors. Like the 5 tigers.
Ah, you see? Zhu Ren starts thinking the same thing. He sees these guys, described as magnificent and stately, and he wonders, maybe this is what the dream was about. Maybe it's about them, not him.
Interesting. So his perspective shifts a bit. Is he helpful to them initially?
Very helpful at first. He finds out who they are. Yu Fei is among them, learns they're staying locally at Jiang Zhenzi's shop. And he says, oh, look, I know the military officer, Hong Xian.
The Zhang Zhongguan.
Right, the one in charge of the capital department. Yu Ren says, he's an acquaintance. I'll send word, get your examination set up for tomorrow. Seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, sounds like things are finally moving for these warriors. So next day, they go to the military camp. Yu Fei steps up, asks Hong Xian about testing their skills, archery, horsemanship.
And this is where the mood changes, instantly. Hong Xian doesn't even talk about skills. First thing he does is turn to his attendant and ask, quietly, did they bring the usual fee?
The bribes.
The bribe. And the attendant says no. Yu Fei, bless him, offers to run home and get it. He clearly doesn't understand it's not an official fee, it's just graft.
Just everyday corruption. So what does Hong Xian do then? Does he say, okay, go get the money?
Nope, he just shuts him down. Says the general isn't testing anyone today, tells him come back in 3 days.
Just like that. A classic stall tactic.
Totally. Trying to pressure them, make them realize they need to pay up if they want anything to happen.
Yeah.
But then, pure chance, or maybe fate.
Xu Ren again?
Zhu Ren again. The warriors are walking back, probably pretty dejected, and they bump right into Magistrate Xu Ren.
What happens when he hears their story about the fee, the delay?
He's indignant. He literally says, what nonsense? Does an exam only happen if Hong Xian says so? He's clearly annoyed by this petty corruption.
Good for him.
Yeah. And he tells the warriors, right, follow me, we're going back. He decides to intervene directly.
That's quite a shift, isn't it? The guy who just yelled at his scribe for comparing him to a king is now sticking his neck out for these strangers.
It is. It shows a different side of him. Maybe the dream or just seeing the injustice sparked something. So they all march back to the camp.
And they go over Hong Xian's head this time?
Straight over his head. They submit a formal request to see the big boss, Commander Liu of the Capital Department.
Okay, so now it's getting serious. How does Commander Liu react?
Well, he calls Xu Ren in first. Xu Ren explains the situation, brings in the 5 warriors, and Commander Liu's first impression is positive. He looks them over, notes they're imposing and strong. He seems pleased.
So things are looking up again. Maybe Hong Xian's little scheme is foiled.
You'd think so. But Hong Xian isn't giving up. He steps forward right then.
Oh boy. What does he try now?
He just lies. Flat out tells Commander Liu that the warrior skills are, quote, very ordinary. Says he already checked them out and told him to go practice more and come back next term.
Wow. Brazen.
Totally brazen. He's trying to cover his tracks and discredit them at the same time?
But Xu Ren is right there. He doesn't just let that stand, does he?
Not a chance.
Yeah.
Xu Ren jumps right in, tells Commander Liu that's false. He's saying that because he didn't get the usual fee.
He calls him out on the bribe directly to the commander.
Directly. And he pleads their case, explains these guys have been waiting 3 years for this chance. It's actually quite courageous of Xu Ren. He's putting himself on the line.
Definitely. How does Hong Xian react to being exposed like that?
He's furious,
Yeah.
naturally, denies everything, insists he did see them and their skills are terrible. And then, to prove it, he does something really dramatic.
What's that?
He challenges Yu Fei to a duel right then and there. Basically says, if you think he's so great, let's see him fight me.
A duel. To
Well-
settle whether they get an exam.
Pretty much. And Yu Fei, calm as ever, just says he'll accept, but only if Commander Liu orders it.
Okay, so the commander has to decide. Does he order the duel?
He does. Probably wants to see for himself now. Cut through the he said, she said. So the duel is on.
All right, set the scene for us. Hong Xian versus Yu Fei.
Okay, so Hong Xian grabs his weapon, this 3-pronged thing called a heaven-propping fork. Sounds impressive.
It does.
And he takes this stance, the hungry tiger catches a lamb stance. Very aggressive posture.
And Yu Fei?
Yu Fei uses his famous Lichuan spear, but his stance is different, phoenix facing the sky. More elegant, maybe watchful. The contrast is immediate.
You can almost picture it. How does the fight go? Is it brutal?
Hong Xian definitely tries to make it brutal. He attacks aggressively, clearly trying to injure Yu Fei, maybe make him look bad.
But Yu Fei's known for his skill.
Exactly, and his restraint. He dodges Hong Xian's attacks. And the text even tells us he's thinking, look, I don't really have a beef with this guy. I don't want to kill him.
So he's holding back.
Definitely holding back, focusing on defense. Hong Xian keeps attacking, probably getting frustrated. Then, Yu Fei sees an opening. He parries a blow, spins.
Yeah.
And then, instead of running him through or hitting him hard, he just lightly taps Hong Xian on the back with the shaft of his spear.
A tap. That's it.
That's it. It's perfectly timed, perfectly placed. Hong Xian completely loses his balance, falls flat on the ground, drops his big fancy fork, duel over.
Wow. Just like that. Understated and decisive.
Completely. Shows incredible skill and control on Yu Fei's part. And, the crowd watching, they erupt in cheers for Yu Fei.
Oh, Hong Xian must have been humiliated.
Utterly. And Commander Liu, he is not happy with Hong Xian.
Yeah.
He basically says, you call that skill challenging him when you're this bad?
What does he do?
He orders the guards to, and this is a great phrase, fork him out of the camp.
Fork him out! Love it!
Right. So Hong Xian, totally shamed, just flees the scene.
Liu Duan, a high-ranking official.
Commander Liu.
He tells Magistrate Xu Ren, bring me those 5 martial students, including Yu Fei, of course.
To the archery hall. Time for a test.
And hell, Yu Fei, he just stands out immediately.
Oh, completely. The other 4 try, but Yu Fei's archery skill is just superior. You can see it. It's not just hitting the target. It's the power, the precision. He's clearly been trained and trained well.
Yeah, you get the sense it's more than just practice. So Lu Duran, he's obviously impressed.
Naturally, he sees this talent.
And he asks him straight up, are you actually from Nihon County? He wants to know where this kid came from.
And Yufei is very direct. No hesitation. He says, well, actually, I was born in Tangin County, Xiaodi Village, Yang'an Township.
Then he tells this incredible story.
Right. The flood, just 3 days after he was born. His mother floating in a water jar, holding him, all the way to Nihon County. And how he was kindly taken in, adopted, and raised by Wang Ming.
It's quite the origin story. Already marks him as someone special, someone who's overcome a lot.
Definitely. And then comes the big reveal about his training.
Ah, yes. He says he learned his martial arts from his first righteous father, Zhu Tong. And he learned alongside his sworn brothers.
And the moment he says Yusong.
Everything changes.
Exactly. Ludi Donyan's reaction is immediate. He's overjoyed, almost reverent. He's like, that explains it.
He clearly holds Zhu Tong in very high regard.
Extremely high. He talks about Zhu Tong's amazing skill in both literature and martial arts. And he laments that Zhu Tong had turned down offers to serve the empire and sadly had passed away.
So Lu Duyan isn't just seeing Yufei's talent. He's seeing the legacy of a master he admired.
Precisely. And this connection is key.
It leads to a huge opportunity for Yufei. Lu Duyan doesn't just praise him, he makes a promise.
A big one. He says he'll send letters straight to the capital. He's going to arrange Yufei's official career, help him advance.
Which is already massive for a young student like him. But then Lu Duyan goes even further, doesn't he?
He does. This is where it gets really interesting. He tells Magistrate Xu Ren, go back to your office. Find all of Yufei's old family property, the foundations, everything back in Tangyin.
His original home.
His original home. And then, Lu Duan says, use official funds to build him new houses there so he can return to his native land.
Wow, that's more than patronage. That's restoring his entire heritage.
It's huge. In a society where ancestry and land meant so much, this was incredibly significant. It's giving him back his roots, his identity, in a very tangible way.
So what happens next? Does it happen quickly?
Very quickly. Yufei thanks him, naturally. Then he goes with Magistrate Zhu back to the office. Xu throws a banquet for him.
A celebration.
Right. And then Zhu tells him, okay, go back to Neihong now, get your mother. It's time to move to your new home in Tangyin. Things are moving fast.
Unbelievably fast. So Yufei goes back to Neihuang.
Wastes no time. He tells his mother, Yuanren, the amazing news. And she's just thrilled, overjoyed for him, you can imagine.
Absolutely. But not everyone's reaction is pure joy.
No. His sworn brothers, the ones he grew up with, trained with, they're saddened. The thought of him leaving is difficult for them. They're a tight group.
His bond is clearly very strong.
It really is. And this leads to a discussion among the elders. 3 of them, including Wang Yuanwei and Zhang Yanwei. These Wanwei titles suggest they're respected, probably wealthy, local figures.
Okay, so the community leaders.
Exactly. They start talking about Yufei returning to the clan, and Wang Yuanwei voices real reluctance. He even brings up something Yufei's birth father supposedly said on his deathbed to his sons. Stay with Pengju, Yufei's infant name, don't leave him, and you'll find success.
So there's this sense of almost inherited duty towards Yufei.
A very deep sense of obligation, yes. It's more than just friendship.
So Yufei's caught in the middle.
Right. He explains his situation. He loves his foster family, his brothers, his uncles. But he can't just ignore this incredible kindness, this huge opportunity from Lu Duan. He feels he has to go.
It's a tough spot.
It is. And that's when Zhang Yuanwei comes up with this, well, radical idea.
Okay, I'm ready for this.
He basically says, look, we should never separate, not for our whole lives. He points out he's wealthy, only has 1 child.
So he has resources.
Plenty. He proposes, let's leave just a couple of people here to manage our properties. Everyone else, our families, our servants, all our valuables, let's pack it all up and move with Yufei to Tangyin County.
Wait, the entire extended family's moving just to stay with him?
The whole group, lock, stock, and barrel. It's an absolutely staggering proposal.
I mean, that's loyalty on a whole different level. It's a complete life upheaval.
It truly is. It speaks volumes about the concept of Yi, that righteous loyalty. They see their fate as tied together with his. This isn't just friendship. It's sworn brotherhood taken to the extreme.
And how do the others react?
They love it. The other elders immediately agree. Excellent idea, they say. Just like that.
Wow. No hesitation.
None reported. They're all in.
How does Yufei react to this? He must be overwhelmed.
He is. He expresses concern, points out how massive an undertaking this is for everyone, just for his sake. He suggests maybe they should reconsider,
Understandable.
but they won't hear of it.
Always is.
Their minds are made up. He basically has to accept this incredible act of collective commitment.
This idea of a chosen family. It's incredibly powerful here.
It really is. They're literally choosing to rebuild their lives around him.
So Yufei tells his mother, Yu Anren, the plan.
Yes. She wants to talk it over with the other wives, which is
Okay.
practical. But one of the sworn brothers, Niu Gao, he just blurts out immediately, "I'm going with Big Brother, no question."
Huh, just straight out.
And Yu Aaron confirms, well, of course, your mother and son will come too. It's decided. The momentum is unstoppable.
Okay, so amidst all this planning, this massive move, there's one more piece, right? A visit Yufei makes.
Yes, and it adds another interesting layer. He goes to the city to visit his father-in-law, Magistrate Li.
Ah, okay. So he's married already at this point.
Seems so, or at least betrothed with a strong connection via the magistrate. He tells Magistrate Li everything that's happened.
The whole story. Meeting the magistrate, the archery test.
Everything. The bribe request that got bypassed, the competition, Lu Duyan's intervention, the order to investigate his old property, build him a new house, his return to Tangyin, the whole sequence.
And then he adds something crucial.
Yes. He explicitly credits his father-in-law. He says something like, all this success, being able to go back to my ancestral home, it's all thanks to your gracious help and promotion.
And how does Magistrate Li react?
He simply comes up with this idea. Tells Yufei, go back quickly and tell your mother. A cliffhanger.